Welcome to Summer Soulsa. We are live in downtown Fredericton.
What's the legacy?
Welcome to an episode of Black Atlantic Media, the band Black Atlantic. I don't know. My name is Clinton Davis, and we are here for the third year of Summer Soulsa with a panel with some fabulous artists. It's a pleasure to do this every year and to be a part of this Latin Afro cultural festival. It's been, we've talked to some of these people before, so to get the full background of their life story and what they've done in the music business, they are going to recap in a minute, but at the same time, check out the past episodes from previous Summer Solstices. But yeah, let's get right into it. How are you for today?
Fantastic. How are you?
Amazing. I'm very good. 180. Can you tell the people, a minute or two, a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Go by the name 180, aka your neighborhood hope dealer. Just a hip hop artist. I love people, love community, man, and so I, use my gift to kind of, encourage that, and I try to be supportive and offer hope. I record and write from a faith background, so just kind of trying to be a well-rounded artist. So yeah, that's who I am in a nutshell. Outside of that, man, I'm a pretty hype show too. So come out and see it.
Yeah, make sure you come out and see that later on in the evening. And in terms of like accolades and why you were asked to be on this stage today to talk and give advice and share your experiences, like, what's happened there?
Yeah, I got a few trophies. So I've won ECMA, Music New Brunswick, some Covenant Awards, Gospel Music Hall of Fame, and that's always awkward. So yeah, that's a nutshell.
What's awkward?
I don't talk about the
Gospel Hall
award.
of Fame?
No, the award part. Like I don't talk a lot about the trophies, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's still cool. I did earn them. So
Amen, absolutely. D, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm a Cuban-born artist. I love fusing Cuban music, and when I say Cuban music, I mean Afro-Cuban music, with jazz and R&B and pop. And within my music, I like to talk about life experiences and become basically the bridge between cultures, drawing from experiences and where I've been in my life. I've done a lot of touring since I was very, very young, like a child pop star, no, jazz star. No, and it's just like I also have never received an award, but I've received many nominations, which the reason I do enjoy saying about these things is because living in New Brunswick, for the longest time, somebody like me was not seen or heard. So to be able to feel like you're being seen and heard and able to share my story and stories of other people through my music, to me is like making it.
Amazing, thank you. Tadia?
Well, I like to mix sport with art. I was a former gymnast, rhythmic gymnast, and I incorporate a lot of rhythmic gymnastics. Actually, last night we did a Northern Mexican song, and we did a rope like country Mexican style, but it was actually rhythmic gymnastics based. So I incorporate that sport element sometimes into the music and the dance. But I am a dancer since I was a little thing, and a choreographer. And I got into singing a little bit later in my life.
And you have a dance studio in Toronto?
I have a dance company, Azúcar Picante Entertainment. I do work out of a gymnastics school that I was a gymnast at, and I'm a coach there, and I teach the dance department. I'm the head of the dance department, but I also teach gymnastics as well. But dance company, yeah.
That's dope. That you
International
can see how that it intermingles with
Yeah,
your
I
on-stage
intermingle all of it.
performances. Yeah. Mr. Diamond.
Hello.
Hey.
You can hear me good?
Finally.
Okay. Yeah, I just try to figure out life and then I document it in music. That's basically what I do. I'm just constantly trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
Okay.
And then I write songs about it to try to help people that's also trying to figure out this thing called life.
Thank you for saying that, because I mean, there's so many different ways to approach music, and that's your method. Again, can you tell, like 30 seconds, so one of the reasons you were asked by Summer Soulsa to be on this panel today?
I have 3 Junos and a park named after me, and yeah.
I guess that's why.
And it's like you know, it's awkward to really speak about it, because yeah, we earned it, but sometimes Canada don't make you feel like you earned it. Right. Yeah, so you know, sometimes it's kind of.
I consider them more tools than anything else, right? Like, I find the awards, for me, the only use I really have for them is that you have to take my call now, right? Like, that's really.
Okay. What's the last, and you guys, you don't have to wait for me to ask you a question. You can talk all you want. You can build off each other, interrupt. What's the past year been like for you all? Let me go, Kirk, back this way, but again, chime in anytime, anyone.
The past year, I've been doing more writing for artists. I've been to St. Vincent twice to write for artists, and it's a weird setup for me, because how it is, we get there, it's a 1-week writing camp, and it's maybe like 15 to 20 other writers and producers. And you get there Sunday, they introduce you to everybody, and they say, okay, tomorrow morning or every day that you're here, breakfast is from 7 to 10, and 10 o'clock you get a briefing. And the next day you eat breakfast, and someone comes 10 o'clock and say, you're writing for this artist, go.
Wow, so it's like a boot camp. It's
yeah,
really
but it's like literally like you have no idea who you're writing for. So for the last one, we woke up, got breakfast, then someone says, you're writing for Rose, who's a K-pop artist. And I've never listened to K-pop. And then Tuesday, it was Kellan.
Not your brand, not your vibe? K-pop, no?
I see it, but I don't see it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's no offense to them, but I thought they were speaking. I thought they were singing in Korean until I actually did my research, because I had to write for them. I realized that they do both.
Yeah.
It's really popular right now, and there was an artist named Jay Hart in Newfoundland from Jamaica, who he during COVID he wrote a K-pop song that I think hit #1 in the charts in Korea or something like that. And it's so interesting. There's so many ways to make a living in this industry. And everyone says you can't make a living, but there's so many avenues.
Right. And to be honest with you, that's the part that I'm most proud of, to be able to say that, okay, you could tell me to write for 5 different genres in 5 days.
Yeah.
And I'm knocking it out the park.
Nice.
Just because I have to. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, if you say, Kirk, can you write a song on this beat? It may take me like 3 months for myself.
Yeah, so you work well under pressure.
Yeah.
That's music, yeah. Some of the best songs in the world were written in 2 hours, and other ones take years. Just quick, so writing camps, is that a paid venture for you, or is it paid based on the success of the song that later gets recorded?
If they choose it, because it's 5 to 6 rooms, we're all writing for the same artist.
Gotcha.
Right, and it's all day, so from 11 a.m. till whenever you're done. And sometimes they're doing 2, 3, 4 songs a day for this one artist. And then the label takes it, and then they pitch it, and whichever they like, they take. You know what I mean? And the middle of the camp, I ended up writing for BTS. And
That's amazing. Yeah.
And I don't know if they're gonna take it yet.
Of course.
Hopefully that'd be great.
Because all of the songs that were written that day was good, but that was like I was in my One Direction bag.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like when my publisher looks at me and says, when he listens to the song, he's like, "This song may buy your house one day."
But is the trip paid for to get to St. Vincent?
I mean,
are you paid
grant.
to be there for the week?
I get a
okay,
grant,
and then there's the additional, because you're not wasting your time.
And put it this way, the more successful you are, then they started, they'll be like,
pay more attention to this artist. You've established
Right.
yourself, improved yourself.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. Taria, what's one of the most interesting ways that you've earned in income or revenue in this industry?
Actually, the last couple of years, I've been super lucky and gotten some sync licensing, which honestly didn't really understand it a few years ago. I didn't really get it, and I signed up to United Masters, and they're kind of like my record label, sort of like my digital record label, but they're not. They are, but they're not. But you know, when it first started, it was horrible. The customer service was horrible. No one ever got back to you. It was always like such a thing to get your music up. But one of my producers in the States, he's like, let's just try. And I stuck it out for about 6 months to a year. And then they changed over people. And then they had actual real people starting to talk to me and reach out to me. And so they made this whole sync library thing for me. And I signed all these contracts, got all my producers to sign contracts, and they started to pitch my music. And then boom, boom, boom. I started to pick up little ones, mostly alcoholic beverage type, Diageo, Buchanan's, whiskey, things like that. And I was getting little placements, and then they started to get a little bit bigger and bigger. And so this last one I got, I was so shocked. Marcelo from Saturday Night Live, he's talking on a video about his family, and it's my song playing in the background. And that was my biggest payout. It was just a reel. It was just a reel. And you hear me singing one word. Like, it's not even my whole song. It's just like, Sarandeo in the background. And that's it. And I got a nice American dollar
Chunk of mana.
chunk of dinero.
$1 American dollar?
It was
like this big.
No, I'm not going to tell you the amount, but it was good.
Yeah,
No, it was good. And so now we're starting to write music, because we weren't writing music for placement.
No, you were.
You know what I mean? We were just writing music. And now I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
let me
What would this sound like on
boom,
this?
boom, boom.
Yeah.
I actually, this year, came up with the idea to write a theme song for Summer Soulsa, partially for Summer Soulsa, but partially I thought, this could be a placement song. It's kind of like a jingle. It's not like a regular song. You know, and there's Spanish and French and English in it. And
It's funny you say that though. Is jingles dead because of placement?
Well, jingles are placements.
Placement.
Yeah, they are. Like, I mean, you think of jingle and you think of like, I don't know, Tim Hortons.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We don't hear that anymore. But we'll hear like actual songs.
Does anyone watch TV?
Yes.
Does anyone watch TV?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay, so are there still jingles?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course there are.
Like what?
But they're placements.
They're for
They
sure.
are placements, yeah. It's still
But they're
somewhat
small
random.
songs.
It's usually a
coexist.
catchy song.
Yeah, so there you go.
Because I remember they used to have like places that you work at. All you do is make jingles up.
That's right.
I wonder if the format changed, or I wonder if that is still an aspect
Yeah,
of the
that's
industry.
actually that was my question.
Right.
If that is dead, not if.
I know. I don't know. But I guess there are still jingles on TV. So songwriting camps where you can earn residual royalties for 50 years if your song gets picked up and does well in another country, and you might be living well off of music annually here in Canada, and no one would even have heard of you. But from that, and then there's sync placements. We probably talked about sync last year. Every second that there is a sound on anything that you've ever watched, TV, commercials, movies, like I was sitting by, someone in my house was watching Ginny and then Quinn, right? Yeah, so Quinn, and then I just out of nowhere I'm watching this show on Netflix, and I start hearing this song from a Fredericton artist during the outro. Yeah, so placement's real, and there's good money in that. How about you, Dee? What's the most interesting?
I personally have been doing many things at once this past year. So writing a lot, but more writing for me. I really haven't really sat down to write for anybody, which I was listening to what he was saying, and that would be an interesting thing. I think you have to be some special writer to do that, so congratulations. I have had syncs as well, and it has been for a smaller, usually for film. They're actually from Fredericton, the ones that picked up 3 of my songs, and it was in the Toronto International Festival and all that stuff. But I've been working in an EP and an album simultaneously. And one of them was I wanted to do something that represented my culture, but also South America. And I tend to work on my own. So I had the opportunity to allow myself to work with somebody else, a producer who's based out of New Brunswick and here in Fredericton. I mean, he's from Honduras. So we worked on that together and simultaneously write my full album that is about to come at the end of this, before the end of this year. That talks about my experience as a 16-year-old coming to Canada and living on my own, and just talking about those experiences. So that's what I've been doing, and then I've been performing a lot. I've been touring a lot, and it's mainly in Atlantic Canada. Working towards some international things, and really just really sharpening up my business side of things, because I'm all self everything. I'm fully independent, and with that there's a lot of growth and learning still.
Yeah. And even when you get management these days in the music industry, you should still know every in and out about management to make sure your contracts are done right. And you got to be more passionate than your manager, if you even have one,
Yes.
if you're not your own manager, because otherwise, like, what are you doing? So, so you're looking at different ways of creating music and albums for streaming. Of course, live music nowadays is one of the best ways to make money, especially if you're in the festival circuit. Let's just be honest. That's where you have that built-in crowd that comes, and it's not your job to book a venue and invite a bunch of people. So yeah, how many shows have you done this year?
That's a good question. I think around 19 so far.
In the summer or since January?
No, in the summer.
So that's wild, yeah. So for artists that can get their live show together in a good set and just get into that circus, and then the reputation builds.
What I've noticed, though, it's the reason why I have had more shows this year is that I've been collaborating with other people. Like, I've been working with Joel Miller, who's a fantastic jazz Juno Award, and he has his own project, and he just happens to play in my band as well. So we have decided to work together that way, again, with El Tata. So just working with other people has opened the doors to doing not just my music, right? And then the shows come with that.
It's amazing. So now there's already been 3 answers. So what can you come up with?
Direct to customer.
Direct to customer.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
It's huge. I haven't really paid a lot of attention to it, but when I put out the last album, Broken Pottery, and I had some issues with the distributor, the online distributor, getting it to and rather than just wait, I was like, you know what? I have an active website. I was going to put it on the website, and what I did was I set the price as donation, pay what you want, and I just set the minimum at what iTunes would charge for the album. So you had to pay at least that. But I had one guy bought the album for $200. Another person, it just because
Smart.
then what's happening now is I'm tapping directly into people that actually want to support me. So I'm not counting on some algorithm to get me somewhere. I sent that out from my email list.
Yes.
The album's coming out, you can do it by donation, and then you just start seeing the people that actually genuinely want to support you start supporting you, all right? Because I find a lot of people that are listening to all of us, or there are people that genuinely want to see us win
100%.
and want to support us, and they don't always know the how. So I've just really started focusing on giving them opportunities to do it, So yeah, that would be my. In fact, the whole time you were coming along, I was like, I hope nobody got that one. But
it's funny because that's one of the things I've been tapping on. I've been using Bandcamp, and that's the first thing when you go to my links. That's the first thing that comes up, and it has been the same thing.
The only thing I would suggest other than Bandcamp is to go through your own website, because I'm funneling people back to that website, and then my merch is all there.
Yep.
And so now they're there. Well, I'm supporting them anyway.
Right.
So
Yes.
why don't I grab a T-shirt too, or why don't I, and then I'm also not counting on Instagram or Facebook or whatever to send people to my merch. Right?
Yes.
I'm not paying for ads. I'm sending out an email, and then you can. And the way I do my email list, you can actually share the email.
Yes.
So when you get the email and read it, oh, that's good information. I should send it out. You can actually post it without doing anything extra,
Nice.
right? And then and my website tells me how many people open the email, and it also shows me a percentage. So
Yes.
the email that I put out with the album on it came back. I had something like 230% open rate.
Nice.
So that means everybody on the
Everybody.
email list opened it, and then they sent it to enough people that another 150%
Yes.
people, like they doubled how many people actually clicked and opened.
So you're growing
that
in your
email.
community at that point.
Right, right. So yeah, that would be something that I don't think I'll ever go back from now. Like, of course, I'll still do the streaming stuff because you have to. But at the end of the day, I think going forward, every like full release I do is going to have a website release first,
I like that.
and then go from there. Maybe
Amazing.
a week early or something like that, right?
And I'll just, yeah, absolutely. I'll quickly point out that no matter how established and accomplished an artist is, Kirk referenced this last year, I can tell that we are all sitting here like thinking and the wheels turning in our head. That's interesting. How could, I should look into that a bit more. But yeah, so you've got song, whether you're a performing artist yourself, you've got songwriting for others that could bring a residual income, sync placements, live shows and touring, and like mailing lists, to be honest, like direct to customer, but mailing lists. I know have a built up following, and like, yeah, Spotify, you have to have it on there, and you can make money on Spotify, but it's next to impossible.
I don't know
but,
how.
And all this.
If you know how, please let us know.
No, I've heard of some artists that
Some
made a
people,
whole
yes.
American dollar.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
nice.
my paycheck.
Was a big one.
monthly. My Spotify paycheck.
It's sad but true, yeah.
It's the same thing with social media, right? You can have 1 million followers on Instagram, and you could have spent $50,000 to get them, or it could have been organic, but then, years later,
Yes.
you're only 0.5 of those people are being shown your stuff. So
Well,
no matter
the
what,
truth about it though is like, especially with Instagram, is that they're. Am I allowed to cuss?
yeah,
Okay, it's bullshit. So in the sense of, you have people that organically like you, right? No one's not following nobody that they don't like, right? And even if they press follow, it's something that they saw
That they like.
that made them want to follow you, right? But then Instagram or Meta, or whoever's in control this week, still tries to control how the people that follow you see you, right? So they're stripping the power that is yours from you and playing in your face.
that's what I'm
And Spotify does the exact same thing with music, right? So for example, you put out an album today, and let's keep it real, 1 million other people put out an album today.
millions, and now there's all kinds of AI
Right.
music getting put out every day,
And then-
which I'm not worried about, but yeah.
The people who follow you, only 0.06 of them get to see that
Exactly.
your album came out today. But they're following you. But these companies won't allow you to be successful. That's the
No, they
problem.
won't.
It's because they have control
They're
of
beholden to
over
their
the whole thing.
stockholders and shareholders, and it's
Right.
their job to
And then
extract as
when you
much money as
start
they can.
reading the fine print, and you realize who owns these companies, it's the labels.
Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. That is true. Let's talk about
Right?
that.
So it's like, you wouldn't have signed us in the first place,
Right.
right? And when you see us doing it without you, then you bring this thing now and say, okay, you have to do this, and it has nothing to do with labels. You're fully independent,
Yes.
but you're signed to a label,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
and they shelf you like they would anyways.
Yeah.
And
That's the reality.
I know.
Yeah, it's just a different way of saying, okay, you made 0.003% off a penny for one song. Like, I bought albums for $20 and I've only listened to it once.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you don't need to listen to it again. Like, I got it.
Yes.
And at least I have this for my collection. Like, I'm not listening to Thriller every Halloween.
But you have it.
But I have it.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, I mean, I used to buy a CD or a record, and I'd listen to it
Play
for
it.
months.
I have it.
But nowadays, it's a bit
You know what I
different.
mean? So it's like, so if someone listened to my album once, you mean to tell me that I only got half of a penny for listening to my entire album?
That cost you to make.
Oh, Doug, they've
It's-
even started blocking IP addresses. So what we used to do as a team is, because there's a few of us that make music together, and so what we would do is we would coordinate our releases. So basically, okay, Kirk, you're releasing tomorrow. Tomorrow night when I go to bed, I'm gonna take your project, I'm gonna put it on repeat, turn the volume down, and go to sleep. Get you those streams. So you can. They've actually started blocking that too now. There's only I think it's like 5 or 6 consecutive
listens,
And then-
it doesn't
and then
count.
stops counting.
Spotify's always, they're always looking for ways to take money from the artists as well. Similar to an organization in Atlantic Canada that's under fire right now, which we can talk about or not. But you're right. So I think the way that you can make money on DSPs is by having it there so that people can maybe find you and book you or check out your music really quick from their phone without having to do too much work.
But I'll show you something.
You don't make
after-
the money off Spotify.
After, where I've been restricted by Instagram since 2021, and I had no idea.
You started to tell me about that. You can tell
Right?
us now.
So it's like, so when people, like other people be like, yo, how do you have this, but you have this amount of followers, and then this amount of likes, but you have all of this, and then your shows look amazing, but your social media don't reflect.
Right.
Yes.
12,000
Right.
followers, bro. 3 likes.
Right?
I know.
So,
Yeah.
so it's like, so they're saying what's going on, and I didn't know that promoters for festivals have this analytics app that they
Yes.
use to judge.
And it's
see your
usually through
engagement
that.
rates.
Please enlighten me, please. So now I'm feeling.
So when we're not getting booked, it's not based on your talent.
No.
It's not based if you can sing and people will drop dead if you sing too loud.
Based on
It's
analytics.
based
Numbers.
on your socials.
on the
Numbers.
And streamings, yeah.
Yeah, but if the numbers are rigged, what the hell?
Right.
That's where we're at.
But you know what? That's
the
bull.
problem.
I'm gonna swear to you. That's bullshit as well. Okay, I'm sick and tired of things going backwards, and then the people that are doing the backwards shit are the ones that are gaining off the people that are doing all the hard work. I don't understand why everything has to be backwards. Why can't we just do it the right way, and the right people get what they deserve? I don't understand that.
The world ain't right. That's why. So it's funny you say that because I remember I contacted a label that I felt would represent me well. And one of the first thing it was like, you're almost there. Yeah. You're almost there. I was just like, what does that mean? Like your numbers and the followers and they're talking about the numbers and I said, but isn't that your job? Once upon a time, it should be technically the job of the label.
That's why we came to
to
the label.
develop an artist, to help each other to get somewhere, to get to your goal. But now it's like you got to make your empire, and then we
then
want to be part of that empire,
Yeah,
and
they
then
wanna
say
tax
that
it.
I helped you get there.
Yeah, they want to tax
Yes.
it.
So that was a huge realization, and actually had that happen to me this year. And I said, I'm done contacting anybody. And it's not like I contacted a lot of people, but I contacted a few. And after that, I realized that's what's not meant for me is not going to come to me, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to be the change in the world, you can't just be part of the problem, right? Because then if I become part of a label that's how they see and use music, then I'm really not changing anything.
But then
And I did come here to change.
Right. And that brings me back to why I don't value but still value the awards. You know what I mean? Like, because I learned a few years ago that my talent had nothing to do with it. Like, I knew I was good. Like, that wasn't the question. I do the work. I know I'm good. The issue was, well, why is that not doing anything for me though? Like, why isn't, and I started to really realize that this wasn't about the talent. This was about what can you see that I don't even know I'm supposed to be showing you, but what is it that you can see that says that I should be there or not, right? And
Yeah.
I realized that didn't change for me until I started collecting trophies, right? But they're sitting in my basement getting dusty, right?
Well,
but the value in them is only that. Like that's the only thing.
The question to me a lot of times when it comes to, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I am gonna interrupt for a sec. I'm gonna call you on two things because you gave me a lot of trouble last year. And then the Broad Purple has. I was gonna say for the people that are here, if anyone has a question, we're definitely gonna let you speak in a second. But I mean, first of all, it does have to do with talent, not just talent. There's a lot of politics and stuff like that. Like someone who's not talented is not going to win an award.
What I mean
they
is
might win an award, but not as likely.
The talent isn't the
thing that makes you
the
win.
big thing.
No,
right?
we all know that.
Because I mean, we're sitting here and we're talking about like when we started this part of that first part of the conversation, and Dee was like, "Yeah, I have nominations," and that's crazy to me. If it was based off of talent, it's a different conversation, right? So yeah, that's where that.
But also, I'll say it has done things for you. You've gotten the calls for like after winning awards. You've had an uptick in.
Yeah,
if
off
you're
the
doing
trophy,
music
not the talent. The talent didn't change. The trophy did.
Oh, I thought you said the trophy didn't do anything for you.
No.
Okay, I
I'm saying
misheard
that's
you.
the
Okay.
only value on the trophy.
Oh,
is that
okay.
that-
I agree
that,
then.
That
I agree
people
then.
have to take his calls.
And the last thing I was going to say with the DSPs, just when I was summarizing all you folks, is like Facebook, like you were saying, 0.005, no matter how much work you did. And then like Facebook could disappear like MySpace did.
Right.
And it's just gone. So mailing list, my point is mailing lists are still king. And 180 has done a really good job at building that dedicated clientele. Everyone's heard the 80-20 rule. You know, if you could get 20% of your fans to support you, and buying one single or one $9.99 album, you said minimum.
Yep. That's
like Kirk would know. How many streams would it take to make 10 American dollars? I'm just kidding. Like, no, like you could buy an artist album for $9.99. And that's supporting them. Probably the equivalent of like 30,000, 40,000 streams, right?
You want to see?
Yeah.
Okay. So I made $2.38 this month from my streams. That's Amazon, Apple, Meta, SoundCloud, Spotify.
I use the same.
That's United Masters.
Yeah.
United
So-
Masters.
Okay, so
And then
look,
Spotify is also in bed
You'll
with
see
the
when I
labels,
sing
with the
licensing.
record labels, is what Kirk was saying.
Yeah.
and my streams.
Yeah.
You good?
Okay, that's my
All right.
monthly.
That's who I use.
That is 1,100
Like that's crazy
streams
to me. Like that's
on this plot. Yeah, 1,100.
that's wild.
And you get $2.38.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
what I do gotta say is that radio is a huge helper, and you,
And
BAM has
serious.
helped me a lot with that. CBC has helped me a lot with that, and I do get. I have gotten $100 checks through SoCan, so that's pretty cool.
Let me ask you something, okay? Because
Yeah.
I'm on the radio weekly.
Okay.
Like we have a Latino radio station that
Yeah.
has to play Canadian content, and my songs are playing all the time.
You should be getting paid through SoCan.
Okay, so I'm on SoCan. I have all
Yeah,
my
of
music
course,
there.
yeah.
So I'm looking on. I can see now on Apple Music. They show me my radio play. I have songs playing in Europe,
Yeah.
in
You
Mexico.
have to get in touch with the
all
publisher.
time. I have.
Oh.
My paycheck is.
You need a new publisher. Like, is that the right term? The person that's responsible for collecting your royalties
Yeah.
from all the agencies
yeah.
from all the
I
different
do.
countries around the world?
No, I
Yeah,
do
okay.
have a publisher through United Masters, but no, Santos, no, I don't know.
Come up here, come up here.
But I have heard about it.
We have
Yes,
a
come
question.
on over.
You know what? Here, come
But
sit in
now
my
I
chair
can
for a sec.
see.
I just wanted to add to
Go ahead. Yeah, well, it's all being recorded. Yeah, no, you know what? Just to be, that was supposed to be the mic, but this will be easier.
personally, when I release my song, I kind of
Introduce
like.
yourself.
Okay, so my name is Bra Purple. I'm also a recording artist, originally from Ghana. Yeah, I just moved here like 2 years ago. So, and I normally drop music on my birthday. Like I have this special release on my birthday. So I kind of like run an experiment with my site. So I hard coded like a store on my site with. So what I did was like a like how if you wanna drop a music, you put out a pre-release. People just sign it up, and when it comes, it goes there. So what I did was I generated codes, right? So what you can do is when you go to my website and you go to the pre-release, when you click on it, it gives you a generated code, and then you make payments with Interact. Then you add reference. So when you add the reference, I kind of like get to know it's you buying it straight away.
Okay.
You get it? Because Bandcamp has this Friday, they do some kind of Friday that goes, you receive the money like 100% to your side. But of course, you can't just tell your fans to wait for you for Friday. Because aside that Friday, Bandcamp takes like a percentage. So just to add, like you could hard code like an e-commerce store on your site so you could get direct purchases to your end.
When you say e-commerce, for the people that don't know.
Okay, so e-commerce, like basically selling, like the way you go to Amazon and you buy stuff. So you could have like a shop on your site, on your like music site. So you could have like your merch. You could have a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so I think with that, getting the direct purchase, like you said, so direct to consumer. you sell it directly to the fans.
And that's it too,
And
right? Like
that's
I don't, when I do the direct to consumer, I don't sell the stream. I sell you the actual
The
file.
actual file, yeah.
Right? And so you get the file. Now, yeah, yeah. And then again, it's like having the Thriller album. Now you have it.
Right.
You can do what you want
Right.
with it. But yeah, that's, for me, like that's the same thing. And like you said, like I use it to keep you there. Like again, even if you did only pay the $10.99 or $9.99, whatever the album costs, right? I still have you here now, and I have a record that it was you specifically that bought it. So
Yes.
now I can send you a little thank you letter. I can do, you know what I mean? I can make sure that I have, oh, well, this email I'm going to send out this month. I'm going to narrow this down to the financial supporters,
Right.
right? And give them something or do something for them or whatever.
That was-
but I
that was
have
super.
all of the information, right? I know exactly who bought what they bought, when they bought it, you know, like, so I can even tailor that back. Well, did that have anything to do with a social media post I made?
Right.
Right? Was there something within that week or 2 week window that I posted that might have, because it's the only way you're going to get some as accurate numbers as you can for what your socials are doing is if you're getting direct responses to things that you can track, right? You know what I mean? So, for example, I know when I put out the email for the album, I could track, okay, well, these sales are direct. So the couple T-shirts I sold, those were directly tied to
Yes.
that. Now I know, okay, so that worked for that. Let's see if I do blah, blah, blah. So I tailored the emails to not blast people with them. So once a month, I send one email a month, and it's basically a recap of what I did for the month and what's coming up, right? I try to do it in the middle of the month, and I'll add something to it or whatever, but I do one a month. And what I've noticed is that with the one a month, people actually will click on the thing I'm selling too, right? Because they're not trying to quickly get through it. They know they get that one email to actually know exactly what I've done the past month and what's coming up.
And that's a good point because we all bombarded with emails all the time, right? Not just because everybody, you have signed up for the pants that you bought the other day, you forgot about it, you bought a t-shirt somewhere else, you forgot about it, and then like you have 700 emails a day.
You should see,
right? So
you
you don't
should
want to
see
be
me
part
at
of
the
that.
table. You should see me
Yeah,
at the table
cleaning
signing
it.
people up. I feel like I'm trying to tell people I'm not selling something. They'll be like, sign the email list. I don't spam once
Yes.
a month.
Yes.
Like everybody's hesitant, right?
Yes.
But it really is just that. Like we gotta, as artists now, today, you have to have as much direct communication with
Right.
your people as possible because
Yeah.
there's, like Kirk was saying, there's so many things trying to limit that for you, right? And because these streaming services are so connected and tied to the labels, they also have a responsibility to the artists that are signed to those labels. So you have to get silenced. You have to get your stuff buried.
So you can make your
because
thousands and
those
millions.
people have to
Make millions.
do the numbers, right? Because they are still promoting somebody. You know, and that's what it is. And so we have to, if we're going to survive at this thing, we have to find as many ways to talk directly to the people that are
To your
listening
listeners.
as possible.
And then, so just to add, what I also experimented was while selling maybe like your album before the release, you could add some little perks to it. So maybe the very first, maybe 20 to buy, you could add maybe a percentage of your merch. And it worked really fast for me because the money I received from that particular music, it's so higher than anything I've ever received. And then I just didn't go back to like the Spotify to just read on the statistics. I was just working with my own file.
your
Like
people.
I just watch where the count is coming from. And then where I'm from, like originally we have this payment method. It's more tied to your phone. So I also added that to the website. So not just basically Canada, but like other payment platforms like maybe PayPal, tapping into the African market.
Right.
Yeah, and stuff like that. So
Good chiming in.
that's just what I wanted
yes,
to add.
and thank you. You say that, and now you know when you forget the things that you have done. Like I you know what I mean. Like I personally go through life just living very much like right now in the moment, and a lot of times, like the way I do is I like to write down the things I do because I do forget very, very quickly. But for the album that I'm going to be bringing out, what I did it was to have my own concert where I live. which is a very small community, and I felt like it was a responsibility, or my responsibility, to continue growing my community, but also in the place that I live, right? Because I noticed that I spend more time away from home than at home. And through that, I also created somewhat like that, like a jot form, where this will be a VIP event, where only invitation only. So you basically submit an application to be part of this concert, because I'm only going to have 80 people in the room. So every one of those people have been sending emails, and now I have this. And in there, it does ask, are you okay with being part of my newsletter, or if you want to be part of that every month. And now I also do have, besides my website, I also have now a group of people that I can go back to
Those email
that want
addresses
to be
are our
part of it.
currency now, and we need to figure that out. Those email
that's-
addresses
That's
are
why I
our
wanted to bring it
currency.
back to that,
Yes.
because your
So-
mailing list, a lot of people think for a while mailing lists were dead and it's all about
No,
socials and
I think it
websites.
depends
The
how
mailing
you
list is
create it.
your best way to communicate.
And don't abuse it. Like that's the other
Right.
piece, right?
Yep.
Like the reason that doesn't work for some people is because you want to email people everything you do every day. That's what Facebook is for. Like,
Yep.
the email list is an update.
Yes.
It's here's what's going on. Here's
Here's my press release. I have a new album. Go get it.
That's it.
But I find that anything that they try to tell you is dead is someone trying to pull some sort
So
of trick
hold
on
on
you.
to that. Hold on to that.
Yeah, so hold on to whatever they tell you is dead, because they told you that radio was dead, and radio pays you more than
Radio is
anything
not
else.
dead. Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? We still have radio for a reason. You know, and when you look and you see how you're saying that they're promoting somebody, listen to who's on the radio. It's who they're promoting,
Exactly.
Yeah.
right? So we need to be trying to get ourselves on the radio more.
Yes.
You know?
And
And
I
create
still have my
opportunities.
MySpace account, by the way.
Me too.
yeah, but it's not how it used to look.
but we don't
It's
use
like
it.
there's this website you can. I'll just say when I was on
they
MySpace,
they
I-
lost their library like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So now everything that you had before 2021 is gone. Which is
I can see my MySpace page, but I don't have one. But it just like when did MySpace go away? 2007. I probably had like 750,000 streams, right? I had some tracks that had done really well, it had a really good following, lots of followers, lots of attention, and then it just disappeared. So mailing list is king.
because that's they
It was
had
an
to do
accident.
that. Think,
That's what they say.
I don't. Yeah. Well,
Nothing
think
is
about
an
it. Then if you have 750,000 streams, then they go back and look at that. Someone has to pay for that.
Yep.
Interesting. I wonder if any laws changed around the time that MySpace
I'm just
wiped
trying to
everything
log in.
clear.
I mean, it's still there. Right? No, well,
haven't
it's not
logged
there
in.
now,
I get-
but
I didn't erase
if
it.
it's still there, it's still there. Just like, I remember there's a story that Shabba Ranks came to Toronto for the first time in like 20 years, and SoCan had to cut him a check.
Interesting.
And that check was not a
Interesting.
normal size check. So your money is still there. It's just if it's not claimed, it's not claimed.
So if you get to a point in your career where you do have music playing all over the world, that is when you definitely, if you didn't have one already, need a publisher to go out there and collect it, because that can be a lot of work, and that money does sit there for, in theory, forever, technically, right? That's amazing.
And that's why I sell vinyl, by the way.
Yeah, vinyl and merch, and we were talking. That's one thing that I don't think anyone brought up. Merch is still king, and
Yes.
whether it's stickers or
The smaller, I
T-shirts,
find the smaller items and the cheaper items are the most effective ones.
could be water
for
bottles
me, yeah.
or
especially like if you do a lot of festivals, which is really what I do. Glasses, lighters. Like the
Exactly,
stuff that you
exactly.
need while you are in there. Because a T-shirt, I have been having T-shirts waiting around for people to buy it for a while. By the way, I got T-shirts.
yeah, and you have to plug and promote yourself.
Yes, we
Shameless.
do.
Yeah, I'm the same. People be like, you wear your own merch? Somebody has to wear my merch. Yes, I wear my merch.
And I wear-
made it. I like it. I'm aware of it.
And people have to be creative. So you're coming with a unique concept. Last night you were telling me about a unique way that you're releasing your album over time, which I'd never heard that concept before. Something I'm going to do when I have an album ready is I think I'm going to put it on. I have these
Stick.
double-sided USB sticks. They're the coolest things ever. One side is a USB-C,
Yep.
and the other side is regular USB. So no matter where I am, what I'm doing, I can plug in. And so it's not like people aren't going to buy CDs. People might buy records, but it's
Album,
just the support factor, right? So you're going to get my music on the USB stick, but then you have a 64 gigabyte USB stick.
I had to just last week message a lady and send her back money because she ordered a CD from my website. I forgot I even had it on my website. It was pretty. But when people want to support you though, right? Like they will. Like they'll support you, right? It's not so much the what. It's if you built it up so that they'll come support you. Like I felt bad. I was like, I mean, thank you, but I'm gonna just send this back to you, and I'll give you a download file you could just have, because I don't even know why that's still on my website.
Though there's a lot of artists who still carry around little suitcase with their CDs in it.
Yeah.
The Dominican.
Because people are still buying CDs. Like even 3 days ago, I got a message on my Bandcamp asking me if I have a CD release.
I was just saying a couple days ago that nobody buys CDs. So really?
Do you know how much is a CD player?
Do I have a CD player?
CDs are big.
No, do you know how much is a CD player? It's like $400.
Wow. I still have mine from when I was 15 years old.
And a cassette and a Walkman is like $400.
Vintage, right? It's the nostalgia of it.
But
It's not because we need it.
someone's buying it, or else it wouldn't be that price.
Exactly. I got a CD thing in my car, yeah. And
Like with my last album, the producer, he puts out everything on vinyl and cassette.
Yeah. Cassette?
interesting.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
So we
but
all learn when
he
we
finds
talk.
that goes first. But he lives at the post office, so he's sending and all of that is going to Japan.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
so that's the market
I have an
for the
8-track,
bigger
a cassette, CD, and a record.
8-track.
All built in
You're
one.
taking it very
Try
far.
to estimate
8-track,
that one. I don't know.
8-track.
I don't know.
I know what it looks like.
We're the same age. Don't be playing.
No, I know what it looks like, but I've never actually
Yeah. So it's
held one.
Yeah, I had an 8-track in my house when I was a kid, like
fantastic.
5 years old, yeah. And it works?
It works very well.
Then they had
It's-
those
it
big
was-
plastic square records.
No, because it has a record player on the top.
think that was movies,
And
yeah.
the 8-track is on the side.
We're dating
And
ourselves, all of us.
I know. And everything, the CD player's on the front. Like it has USB as well. It's fantastic.
My grandfather has a vinyl player.
That's cool. I made the joke that we're dating ourselves. But do you not agree that like we are in an era, it's always been that way for reggae and pop, but we're in an era where you can be in your 40s and still be accepted as a musician, as an artist. And like, so for rap, it used to be, back 30 years ago, if you were 30 or 40, you were too old, you were Gramps.
Right.
But now with the 50th anniversary of hip hop.
Everybody tells me, you're over 25,
know.
don't even talk to me. I'm like,
Yeah, so
all right.
my point is, have you ever got any feedback that you're too old to be doing this?
All the time. All
Okay,
the time.
okay, so talk about it, because you're not.
Actually, just
Because you're
really-
doing it.
Just really
Probably
recently.
better than the kids.
Just very recently, I won't say names because that's not cool. But
Say it.
we got a message. So my brother in music, his name's Fresh IE. He's
shout out
Grammy
Fresh IE.
Award nominee, all of that. Like just a solid guy, and he's the one to put me on. But him and I are like we're brothers. Like it's my big brother, and it's our relation. So anyway, there was a award show that happened a couple of months ago, and he ended up winning his award. And one of the younger artists actually sent a DM. You guys are. Let somebody else have a chance and blah blah. Like I was so hit by it, right? Like
It's not Drake.
like I was.
Let someone
I
else
was so.
have a chance.
I was, but and like that's my thing is like
Wow.
like I put in work. I'm not trying to win because you're in your 20s. I'm trying to win because I'm trying to win. Like I'm trying. You know what I mean? Like it's none of that. But like the tone in the message was like, yo, like. First of all, a few of these opportunities you have, you got them from me. So let's start there. Like, let's start there. But
sons.
secondly, there's people that have done this long before me that have paved a way for me to be able to do it. And I don't know, and I don't ever want to be one of those generation guys, but I don't know if there's anybody who came in the era before I did that I would ever like have that tone. Like I appreciate it. Like there's some people that didn't give me the time of day. Cool. There's some people who did, and I benefited from them. And but one thing for me is that I learned when I was young was I wanted to learn from those people. So maybe I might just say thanks every once in a while, or I might just show up but like I kid you not, like it was an actual message that came out that you guys are too old for this and should not be.
Listen, a 91-year-old Cuban lady won her first Grammy
Listen,
at 91.
and it's for her. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like that's the
And
thing. But
killed
yeah,
it.
no, that was the one. Other than that though, like the thing for me is like I like being around these young artists. Like I like what like I'm into. It doesn't always all make sense to me, but that sounds like old man talk. I know, but I just like I want them to all win. There were people older than me in my life that wanted to see me win, and even now there's some people who are older than me that refuse to see me lose, which is different than wanting to see me win, right? You know, and so like I want to be that especially in hip hop, we've kind of developed this, you know, us versus them mentality of you're either from this era or you're from that era, and the two can't coexist. And I'm just like, for me, that's crazy, because I think some of the style of what some of these young artists are doing right now, I personally can't do. So I'd love to collaborate with that, because it's only going to enhance what I can do. And I can teach you a little bit about what you're about to run into and what's going to happen to you. And at the same time, you can teach me a little bit about what people are listening to keep me relevant now, right? And so we got to figure out how to bridge that partnership, you know, without, and I understand my genre is a very prideful genre. I don't know about every other one, but I know
jazz
mine
is very much like that too.
Right, mine's a
and
very competitive,
paying
prideful.
tribute to those before you and the ones that paved the way, and what made jazz or even Cuban music, what made that sound. The reason why I sound this way is because they sounded that way then.
But not
right?
to say, and I don't want this to sound bad for these other genres, but you take country and rock and roll, like these guys will jump on somebody else's tour just to support them.
Yes,
like I know I can sell some tickets for Kirk on it. I'm coming, bro. You know, like they just actually do it in those genres, right? Like, you know, I'm looking at the country tour there that what's his face is Post Malone's on right now, and Jelly Roll just keeps showing up. Like he's not necessarily scheduled for it, but that's my boy, and I know people will buy some tickets.
Yes.
If
to support him, and then he would return the favor.
Right? Like it's and we got to figure that out, man.
That's why
like
I was
we really got to
acting
figure
regular.
that out. Otherwise, here's where I'll end that. We got to figure that out, because otherwise we're gonna always every year having to have these conversations about why we can't get to this place, because they don't have that problem. They're building it together. Like right now, I know for a fact I have 3 really good friends in this industry that, you know, I see you click. You know what I mean? I follow yours. I see it. Like I know I have that. But like once we get past that and I get back outside, I expect I'm going to walk back into the war zone and get ready to lock in and compete with everybody else and all of that. And what I've noticed about the relationships I've built at this festival, for one, like, is that we're all like talent giants, man, but we don't have that. I don't feel that. Oh no. Like I don't feel that. You know what I mean? Like I don't have a.
But here's the thing, though, about our generation. If we're speaking about generation, we probably have the most talented generation, and here's the reason why I say that. In our age group, we always looked up to people that we were taught that it was talent first.
Right.
So we had to be, if you weren't a good dancer, you're not a good dancer.
Right.
If you couldn't sing, you can't sing.
Yeah.
Right? And no one's giving you the opportunity to do any of these things if you couldn't do it. So imagine us building ourselves to be talent driven, and then the internet comes in and then it switches in on us.
Right.
Right? So now
not
it
the thing
switches
anymore.
before we get our turn, and now because it switches to a time where the generation after us understands what's happening, we don't know where to go.
Right.
Right? And now you're telling us, okay, so when we saw what we saw Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, and all these people do before us, that's just dead now.
Right.
Right? And then now we're looking at TikTokers.
I do not take
Right?
I can't.
Or lines are being blurred. Lines are being blurred, and they say that, well, it's genre fluid and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But we knew that Pavarotti and James Brown doing a song, we knew who James Brown was,
Yep.
and we knew what Pavarotti did.
Yep.
That's not genre fluid, that's funk and opera
Right.
coming together.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
But now it's like they try to erase
Yes.
the lines
Yeah.
that were set for us to be like, okay, you want to be a musician? You're a musician if you could do this.
Interesting.
Now it's you could go on Suno and you could type in, I want a beat that sounds like this.
Right.
And it comes up and you sing on it. And It doesn't even have to make sense. You may not rhyme once. You may say, well, a grape is orange and an orange is purple, and
it's okay.
And what's
look
your
at my
opinion on that?
shirt, and that's platinum tomorrow.
So I'm gonna. So you mentioned every year and next year, so that's a good segue. Limitations.
Very much.
So if you want to just 1 or 2 minutes talk about those limitations,
Well-
and then wait 1 sec, and then no, I know people have sound checks and other things, and they want to rest before your performances tonight. We didn't get into it at all, but last year I was singing the praises of provincial organizations and how much artists need to be involved with them. Now this year, now you two might not know much about this, but the East Coast Music Association has been under fire for the past year. They hired this new CEO that was supposed to rebuild, modernize, be more inclusive, focus on diversity, and get everyone, involved. And then, the institutional people who would have not benefited from that because they were making their money off the way it was, created this hubbub. There was this scandal. She was fired. They brought back in I'm paraphrasing, but a senior of European descent person to run it again. And then the former CEO, she spilled all the receipts about how this organization is supposed to be for the artists and publicly funded, how they get $1.6 million last year. Barely 100,000 or maybe 130,000 went to actual artists, whereas the CEO was making 100,000. And in total, every East Coast Music Association artist made 140,000 combined. And
it's a not-for-profit.
You could probably talk more on that than me, but I mean so how do you feel about that, and what do you guys think about that? Well, first, so deep, first your genre, and then we're going to end off with the ECMA talk. Yeah.
So I mean, it can create limitations for a lot of things. A lot of times, as you know, we always click in boxes. It's either through music or through the color of your skin or your background, right? So based on that alone, a lot of times when it comes to festivals, it becomes difficult to get booked. Because especially, for example, in Atlantic Canada, whenever there are buyers coming here, they are usually looking for folk, country, somebody with a fiddle, which I also love that music as well. So then when you see somebody like me amongst those applications, you get overlooked. Now I say that, but I am getting booked. So I think just being very confident in your presence and what it is that you make and do creates this hyper focus on you, because you are the different one in the room, right? I mean, I honestly don't like to even think about the limitations, because if I think about the limitations, that I just won't make music and I'll just go back home. I just keep showing up. I just keep sending the emails. I'm extremely persistent, to a point that I think I become quite annoying to some people.
That's independent, right?
And I do speak about the fact that nobody wanted to see me. And there's still large festivals in New Brunswick who should be booking me, including one here in Fredericton. You at the end look stupid when you don't book me, because everybody else sees me. Even when you don't want to see me, you see me. Not within only fans, but artists, they see me, so just keep showing up. Whatever it is that you want to do, you gotta do it. This whole idea that there is, just reggae or Latin music or hip hop, we all can coexist, and all of those things can coexist within your music and just what happens with mine. And yeah.
Okay, thank you. And I mean, I know we could, this next thing that I brought up at the end, we have to finish. We could talk about this for 2 hours straight.
Sorry, yeah.
But what are your thoughts on the ECMA?
The ECMA stuff is, I mean, I guess for me, I won't speak on it. The only reason why, because I want to be clear on that. The only reason why is because there's a lot of moving parts, and I have a lot of relationships that are tied to what's going on with ECMA right now, and I want to make sure that us as artists, or the artist community that I'm a part of and that I represent, is represented properly. And so the only thing I'll say on the ECMA situation is that we are not being represented properly, and that needs to change. Now, how we go about that, that's another conversation for another day. But like in terms of, because the one thing that is happening right now that does make me a little bit uncomfortable is that there's a lot of people who I know have no idea of what's going on within there that are throwing the opinions out. And I feel like that's a lot more damaging than let's just wait and find out what the plan is here.
Right.
Because the artists we're coming together.
Yes.
We're figuring it out. We're not going to just chill on it and let it just be what it is. The status quo will change.
Yes,
Promise
it
you
has
that.
to.
I promise you that. Or we'll find another way to do it. Like, and we've made it clear that we're willing to do that as artists. Like that's not a new thing either.
Yeah.
We've made that clear. That's why we talk about the independence and how labels and all that works, is because we've proven that as artists, we'll just move on and figure it out. But yeah, I think that that's really the only thing I can say about it, is that it's there to represent us artists. It is not representing us artists, and it's paying the people who have the financial investments in it, which is not what it was for, and it's not what it's for. And the fact that the artists do not get the financial support, knowing what kind of money's going in there, what the government's putting into it,
What
we
artists
put
are
into
putting
it.
in.
Yeah, I was going to say what we put into it as
we
far
pay
as the
fees.
dues. We pay fees for that, right? And then we also have to pay submission fees if we want to submit for awards.
And we have to
also have to
print
pay
bands.
application fees if we want to
We
do
got a
showcases, right? Like everything that they technically do for us comes with a fee for us. And what we're seeing now, because Blanche is being so open with the actual receipts,
Right.
what we're seeing now is that not only we all knew it wasn't happening, but we didn't all know the severity of how badly it wasn't
Yes.
happening until
Yes.
Blanche started showing us.
Right.
Here's the exact numbers. Here's the exact what. And so, and out of respect for her and a few of the board members that left that are kind of spearheading us figuring this out, out of respect for them, I don't want to sabotage anything that they're doing. So I just
Amen.
because I've been asked a few times
That was
what
really
my
well
thoughts
said.
are on
No,
it.
your answer was
I don't
really
want to
well
touch
said
it.
and professional, and I'm still looking into it and figuring out what's going on, and I haven't come to conclusions, but there were receipts posted on
Right.
Instagram, and those seem factual.
And they clarified a lot of my questions, because when this whole thing was happening, I was already in the midst of going to Newfoundland for the ECMAs, as I had two different
you did the
showcases. I
showcase,
was
yes.
part of the export program. I was part of the SOCAN songwriter circle, and all of a sudden this was dropped on me, and almost like, even our association was asking me, "Are you still going?" And of course I'm going to show up, because I also worked
You're a
extremely
professional.
hard to be able
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
seen in those spaces, right? So,
You did the right thing. I want to cover this while we're.
Yeah,
I want
I
to do
agree.
this part publicly.
but there was a guilt.
But here's
you
the thing, though. You did the right thing, because I'm on our association's board, and we did have that discussion. And what we landed on was the artists that need to go, we've got to support them and send them,
Yep.
regardless. And now what we're going to do. And so for me, and you know this
Yes.
to be true about me, is I've pulled out of 2 separate award things based on how artists were treated. I boycotted a Music New Brunswick year.
Yes.
Which we're also part of at the same
us,
time.
Yeah, I boycotted a Music New Brunswick year, and this year I pulled out of the showcases for ECMA.
ECMAs.
That wasn't a get credit thing, though. That was because that's the role I have in the music industry. That's what I do. That's kind of what I do. For you, I felt very strongly that you had to go because we needed some form of joy in our community, and that's what you bring when you perform. And so I was very much on the we got to get D over. Like there were a few artists that we were like, these are the people that are so far going. What are we doing this? D has to get there, and there were a few others.
Yes.
But I wanted you to know that, like, I know you were carrying some weight on it because we did message.
Yes.
But it wasn't like you did exactly what needed to be done. We still needed our province to be represented,
Yes.
and we still needed to, bring a good time. I was just going to go up there and cause more because what happens when I get on stage if there's a cause. Mr. Kirk, I got similar issues, man. so
We all want to go on tour with Kirk. I'll do the videography. He'll be your hype man.
Right, it wasn't the
opening act.
right place for me, but I think as a representative of our province and our association, you needed to be there.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And that's what I did.
We're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, you gotta tune in next year. For the next installment of Summer Soulsa. My name is Clinton Davis from Black Atlantic Media, and I want to give a huge shout out and thanks for, I think, the best panel yet, to 180, D. Hernandez, Teria Morata, and Kirk Diamond, the man with the park named after him in Brampton.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's dope. All right, that was it. Summer Soulsa. We'll see you next year. Make sure you're here next year.
Thank you guys for coming.